Hello everyone and welcome to this video which is in our Engine Snack series. I'm Grandmaster Matthew Sadler and we're taking a look at Igel against Stoofvlees, TCEC Season 22 Division P. And this game will be a particular thrill to TCEC chatter Mr. Beads because it features a semi-Slav opening. Black has played the move c5 but the position is a little bit risky due to the knight on e5, the rook on d1, the presence of the queen on d8. And Igel plays a very interesting idea here to try and exploit this, sacrificing 3 pieces for 2 rooks and a pawn, and a slightly weakened black king. Let's see how that pans out. So d takes c5, rook takes c5, bishop h7 check, knight takes h7, knight takes d7. Well, we're going to play either knight c5 or knight f6. And obviously king h8 allows knight takes f7 checkmate, which would be embarrassing. So king f8 played, and now Igel played b4. Quite interesting that in my engine matches, Stockfish didn't want to do this at all, but played the much quieter knight takes d7. But after knight takes d7, queen e2, queen c8, it got pretty much nowhere against Koivisto. b4 is a lot sharper, maybe not objectively better, but definitely gives black a lot more chances to go wrong. Rook c7 and now knight takes f7, so opening up the bishop, the line of the bishop against the rook. King f7, bishop g6 check, king f8, takes on c7, queen c7, bishop e8, king takes e8. Yeah, what is this position? In principle, you know, black should be doing fine. I mean, 3 pieces are very, very useful, and all of the black pieces are well placed, control a lot of central space. What white has to do is to try and get the rooks to open files, the major pieces to open files, and really start trying to invade along there. Now, both Stockfish and Koivisto were tending to try and exchange off queens in this position, but Igel really went for a very aggressive plan. So played rook ac1, knight e5, and queen e2. Simply threatening knight takes b5, queen b6 played, and now this very interesting move, knight b1. The idea simply is to play the knight to d2 and prevent black from blocking the c-file with knight c4. And then, well, if the c-file can't be blocked, maybe you can just line up with rook c2, rook c1 and invade on somewhere like c7 or c8. Very aggressive plan there. Now, I think the key for black here was not to overreact. So, for example, a simple plan like king f7, knight d2, and then a5. You don't actually have to do this. I mean, I think you could just stay still for a while. But this is a pretty good plan, really. Takes, takes. And then black's going to play after rook c2, bishop d5, really get the pieces nice and centralized. If the bishop's chased away with e4, it can come to c4, for example. a3 is hanging. There's a lot of sharp play in there. Stoofvlees, however, went rather wrong here. Played the move knight c4, was hit with knight d2, and then instead of just retreating with knight e5, which would have been by far the best approach, and well, I mean, I played engine matches here between Koivisto and Stockfish, and between Leela and Stockfish, and black was managing to hold this position, you know, in almost all of the cases. So, yeah, you know, black has wasted time, but it's not so bad. I mean, white does gain the opportunity to play knight b3, stopping a6 to a5, looking for knight c5. But okay, I mean, you know, black's not too bad here. For example, bishop d5, knight a5, bishop d6, rook c8 check, king f7. And the pieces are still pretty active, though it's obviously easier for white now than for black. However, after knight d2, knight takes a3, queen d3 was played. And, well, this turned out to be really nasty. Bishop b4 allows the stunning queen g6 check, king f8, knight e4. Look at that for a move. Bishop takes e4 allows rook c8 check, and knight takes e4 would allow rook d7. So after knight e4, black's in huge trouble here. So knight c4 was played, takes, takes, queen takes c4, bishop d5, and here Igel finished off with a beautiful little idea. Rook takes d5, e takes d5, and rook c6. And, well, 2 pieces for the rook, which is great, but that king is not so great at all. Rook c7. How on earth do you stop white from coming in with queen f7 check once this bishop moves? The answer is you can't. Queen e1 check, king h2, bishop d8 played, queen f7 check, king f5, and now this lovely move, rook c5. Threatening rook takes d5 check here. Queen d2 was played. Another nice idea was queen d1, f3, with the idea of playing rook takes d5 check, queen takes d5, and then e4 check, just picking up the queen. That's also quite nice. But queen d2 was played, rook c8 hitting the bishop, bishop a5, and now g4 check, queen e4, king e4 rather. You could do all sorts of things really. For example, queen e6 check, king f3, queen f5 check, king e2, rook c2 would be rather winning here. Igel played king g2, queen b4, queen g6 check, king e5, queen takes g7, d4, g5 takes, rook check, king d5, and pretty much anything is winning here. Igel finished it off with queen f7, rook e5, queen f6 check, and the game soon ended. So very interesting play from Igel, basically just really going for it. And, taking on this very unbalanced position with 2 rooks and a pawn and a slightly damaged kingside for 3 pieces. And then I liked its plan very much, very aggressive. This move knight b1 was quite unusual. And, the whole finish with this exchange sacrifice on d5 and the king hunt, very well played, Igel.